my name's Jamie. I use they them pronouns. Welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I live and in which I stand today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, as well as all First Nations people worldwide. If you're looking for some good romance books to read, then I have some recommendations for you today. We'll start with some I read recently. So firstly, The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is a friends to lovers between a football star and a ballerina who have been best friends for like 6 years, and they both like secretly have feelings for the other one, but they both don't want to ruin the friendship. So it is kind of frustrating because like it all would have been sold if they just like communicated. But it was cute. I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable. The characters definitely did have like established lives and personalities outside of the romance plotline, which I always appreciate. And it was enjoyable. And then The Roommate by Rosie, Danan. Now this is about a woman who goes to Los Angeles for the summer. Like she's going to stay with her best friend, who she also has secretly got feelings for like 3 months. I think she's going to stay with him, but he kind of bails on her at the last minute, and he rents out his room to some random guy from Craigslist. So then this main character is now in Los Angeles with this random roommate who she's never met before, trying to sort of get over her unrequited feelings for her friend. It's very good. It took quite an unexpected turn. Like, I don't know, it's very interesting. I don't know, I definitely like morally align with the messages of this book. It's pretty cute. I gave it 3 stars as well. In a similar vein, The Flatshare by Beth. It's about this guy named Leon who rents his apartment out to this girl named Tiffy. Now, Leon is a night nurse, so he only works at night time, and Tiffy just works like 9 to 5. So the deal is that he works during the night time while she's at the apartment, and then during the daytime she's working and he's at the apartment. So even though they share the same flat, they've never actually met before. So they kind of like leave each other little sticky note messages and things like that. It's very cute. I don't think it's quite as cute as it could have been, but it definitely was cute, and it did manage to be meaningful as well. And I think there might be a TV show of it, so good timing to read this book now if you're interested in a TV show. And now for my absolute favourite romance books of all time, The Brown Sisters Trilogy by Talia Hibbert. I love these very much. This trilogy basically follows 3 sisters, Chloe, Dani and Eve, and each of their like romance plot lines, right? So we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This is the oldest sister. She has like chronic pain, and it has kind of kept her from doing a lot of things that she wants to be doing in her life. Like she always kind of just stays at home, and she decides she wants to change that. So she makes a list, a Get a Life list, and sets about trying to accomplish it, when she realizes that the superintendent of her building, Red, who was like this like tall ginger motorbike guy, she decides he's the perfect guy to help her with her list. Yeah, it's really cute. It's very cute. I just love the characters very much. It's very enjoyable, very steamy, as they say. And then we have Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which is a fake dating romance. So Dani is a PhD student and Zafi is a security guard at the university. And basically there's like a fire drill, and Dani like gets stuck in an elevator or something, I think, and Zafi like carries it out of the building. And someone gets a video of this happening, and like it goes viral on the internet, and with everyone shipping them and everything. So they decide to play along with it, pretend to be dating, so that Zafi's charity can get some free publicity. So that's basically the plot. It's very cute. Again, it's really good. It's also very sad and very like heartfelt, you know, and it's really good quality. They have a lot of very good banter. And then we have my favorite one of the trilogy, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. Now, I love this book so much. It is a 5-star. I read it I think 3 times last year. It is god tier, and I love it very much. Oh, it's so cute. So this is the youngest sister. Basically, she has a tendency to like, she tries very hard at a lot of things, but then she always screws something up, and then she kind of just quits as soon as something goes wrong. She just quits and she gives up on everything. So this is like all her like careers and jobs that she's tried to start. She just ends up giving up at it, and so it gets to the point where her parents sit her down and they're like, this is ridiculous. You need to start actually being independent and like sticking at something, right? So they like kick her out of the house, and they're like, you need to get a job. You need to get a job and you need to stay at the job and not just give up. So she goes to a job interview to be a chef at a bed and breakfast, and now the manager of the B&B is like a complete dickhead to her. They like hate each other instantly, and like there's no way she's gonna work there. And then she accidentally hits him with her car, only lightly. He's only slightly injured, but now he's injured. He can't run the bed and breakfast by himself. She feels bad, so she decides she'll work there just for a bit, just to help him out, you know. And so she does, and it's kind of a slightly hate to love. But what I love most about it is just the setting of this little country town bed and breakfast place with just like lots of like baking and like, oh, it's just so cute. It's so cute, and it just fills up my little cold dead heart. And I love it very much. So this is my favorite. These are my favorite romances. If you read anything from this video, you have to read these ones. You've probably heard people talking about them, might have been wondering whether or not you should read them. Just read them, please, because they are incredible, and very, very good. So I'd really recommend it. They also have quite diverse characters, which is also really nice to see. And they just make me feel a lot of emotions. Now, slightly similar to these is the Kiss Quotient trilogy by Helen Hoang. So the first book is called The Kiss Quotient. It's basically about this woman, Stella, who is autistic, and her parents are always like wanting her to get married, but she really hates dating because a lot of the things required for dating are just very incompatible with her autism, and just her personality in general, and she doesn't like it. So she decides that in order to overcome her dislike of dating and get married and make her parents proud, she needs to get better at having sex. So she hires like a male escort named Michael to teach her how to be good at having sex. That's the premise. Like a really dodgy premise. Like, obviously there's a lot of things wrong with that situation. There's a lot of things wrong. But luckily, Michael is like an absolute sweetheart and I love him very much. And he kind of helps Stella realize that like she has worth as a person. And then the second book is called The Bride Test. Now this is about Michael's best friend's brother. So his name's Kai. He's also autistic, and his parents want him to get married. He doesn't want to get married. He doesn't want to date anyone. He's just fine by himself. But his mom decides that this is not good. He needs to get married. So she tries to find him someone that he would want to marry, and she's been doing this for quite a while, but she thinks she's found someone who's actually gonna be good. So she gets this girl, Esme, to come from Vietnam and like kind of stay with Kai for like just the summer, and like if he doesn't like her, then like his mum will back off and leave him alone, but like she kind of wants them to get married, right? So it's about Esme coming to America for a summer to try and seduce Kai, basically. So they're like living together and everything, but he is not interested in her at all, and she's determined to like succeed, right? And then the third book, The Heart Principle. This book was the reason I wanted to read this series because I'd heard people talking about this book. So this follows Kai's brother and Michael's best friend, whose name is Quan. He really reminds me of Hilo from Greenburn Saga by Fonda Lee. So if you like Hilo, you probably liked Quan. I know I certainly did. And also his voice actor on the audiobook was like really hot. Like he had a really nice voice. So I enjoyed that. But anyway, the actual story. So it's about Quan. He's been through some stuff. He's starting to recover. He decides he wants to get back on the dating scene, you know, test the waters a bit. So on some like dating app, he comes across Anna. Now Anna is again autistic, and she is a violinist, like a professional violinist, who recently had a video that went like viral, and now after like the pressure of that, she's kind of stopped enjoying playing. She's been really struggling, and so she decides that maybe having a couple flings will help like loosen some tension, and then maybe it can help her work through her issues, her difficulties, and hopefully get back to playing like she wants to be playing. So yeah, it's about the two of them coming together. It's very cute. It's very cute. It's very also quite sad. There are a lot of like I said, they're both kind of working through some trauma. So obviously there's some kind of difficult things going on with their families and everything as well. But it's very enjoyable. So overall, this trilogy as a whole, all three books are like quite similar, to be honest. They have quite similar themes, but they were all good. Like, they are all different, and they are all good. So if you like one of them, you like them all, which I did. So I would recommend them. They're very good. Okay, and now I'm going to be talking about Mariana Zapata, who is a very popular romance author. Basically, all her stuff is just adult slow burn romances. I have read 4 of her books, to varying degrees of success. My favourite one of her books, which is one of my favourite romances, is All Roads Lead Here. I love this book very much. To be fair, okay, disclaimer, her writing in general is not very good quality, like the actual writing. Like, it's just very cringy and like slightly like 12-year-old writer on Wattpad type of vibes. But generally, it kind of, like the beginning part is mostly like that, but then once the plot starts to actually develop, it kind of improves. So all her books are like that, in my experience. But like, you kind of become a bit desensitized to it, and like once you just look past it, like you can ignore that and focus on the actual story, which is good. So that counts for all her books. But this one specifically is about a woman named Aurora, who is just coming out of a very messy breakup after a very long relationship. So she decides to move back to her hometown, which is like in the countryside, you know, to try and kind of heal from this relationship. But also simultaneously, she's kind of starting to catch up on grieving for her mother, who went missing when Aurora was like 12. And she went missing on one of the hiking trails in this hometown. And so Aurora decides, you know, she's just gonna go back to her roots, you know, maybe go for some hiking, got some hikes, appreciate nature, try and heal. And so she rents a place on the property of this guy called Rhodes, who is a wildlife ranger. So it's a romance between Aurora and her kind of landlord. He's not really, I mean, he is her landlord, but like he kind of just looks after her basically. It's so cute. It's so wholesome. Like he has a kid as well, and there's just so many cute like kid scenes. I don't know. And it's just very cute. It has a lot of cute moments. There are a lot of things that would happen in a K-drama. Like, it just really gives that vibe. Like, I can just picture, like, it's just so like cinematic. I don't know, I can't explain this very well. But it's a really good book. It makes me happy even just thinking about it, as you can see. Also, like I said, it's about, you know, her hiking, a lot going in nature. Like, he's a park ranger, you know, so there's a lot of really nice like nature descriptions and everything, which are just really pretty, and I enjoyed that as well. I love this book very much. It was the first Mariana Zapata book I read, and it's my favorite. It's really, really good. So I would actually recommend this book quite a lot. So then her other books I've read are Luna and the Lie, also by Mariana Zapata. Now this is about Luna, who works at like a car shop, like she paints the car bodies. And basically her boss, Ripley, something happened in the past where she lied on his behalf. Like, there was something happened, she lied for his benefit, and now he feels like he owes her something. That's the premise. I'm not going to say too much more because it's very difficult to explain, and you go into it not really knowing much, so I don't want to spoil everything. But yeah, it's pretty good. It is kind of ridiculous. Like, a lot of ludicrous things happened where I was like, it's just very extreme. But it was good. It was good. I did really like all the car stuff. Was really cool. This one, I think, definitely check the trigger warning, because it also has her like healing from past trauma. And then The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. Now this one is about a like football player and his like secretary, I think. She's just absolutely worked to the bone taking care of this guy, so she decides to quit, and he very quickly realizes that it's very difficult for him to live without her. So yeah, it's kind of has similar vibes to Kimbi Soga we Karaoke, the K-drama, except with football. So yeah, I didn't think it was very good. I just didn't like the love interest. I felt absolutely nothing for most of this book, to be honest. It did get pretty cute at the end. So I personally probably would not recommend this book, but you might like it. You might like it, I don't know, you don't know. So the last book from her is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata, of course. Now this is a kind of rivals to lovers between two figure skaters who decide to be partners for like their final year. It's like both of their final chance in to win competitions and stuff, and they be partners for it. It's very cute. It's kind of angsty, I would say. It's very, I mean, I just really like figure skating in general, so it was pretty cool. I like that. And then The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. So this is a fake dating romance about Olive, who basically, her best friend like wants to be with her ex, but like she obviously, you know, that's kind of against the code, and she doesn't want to hurt Olive by doing this. So Olive is like, no, it's completely fine. Like Olive seriously doesn't care, and she wants them to date. So she tells her friend like, oh, it's fine. I'm totally over him. I'm dating someone else. And her friend's like, who are you dating? She's not dating anyone. She just said that to make her friend feel better. So now she has to pretend to be dating someone. So she just literally goes up and like kisses like the first random man she sees to make her friend think that they're dating. Now the guy she randomly kissed turns out to be her like supervisor at their like lab. Or I think it's not her supervisor. He's just a supervisor at the lab, and he's very like serious and like scary or whatever. But anyway, eventually he agrees. He agrees to the fake dating scheme, and it develops from there. This was originally a Raylo fanfiction, and it definitely reads like it, but it's not bad quality. Like the writing is surprisingly actually quite good. Yeah, I mean a lot of the scenes are like slightly questionable, but it was good. It was good, and it definitely did have some more like meaningful undertones. And so this is the only Ali Hazelwood book I've read, but she has quite a few. And from what I gather, they're all very similar. So if you like Love Hypothesis, you'll probably like a lot of the rest of them too. And I think she has a new one coming out soon as well, so it could be something to check out. And then the last book that I've read is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas, which is another fake dating romance where main character Catalina, her sister is getting married, and Catalina recently like again had a very messy breakup, and her ex is now engaged. And he's gonna be there at the wedding with his fiance, and she thinks like, oh, everyone's gonna pity me if I show up single. They're all gonna think I'm still like pining over this guy, right? And she doesn't want them to think that, so she decides the solution is she has to bring a boyfriend with her to the wedding. Except she doesn't have a boyfriend, so she brings this guy Aaron from her work, who she works with, and they kind of have a bit of a rivalry going on. Like they kind of hate each other. They're always trying to annoy each other basically. And he agrees to go with her to the wedding in exchange for her agreeing to come to a couple events with him as his girlfriend. So that's the premise. It's very cute. I've read this twice. Everyone on TikTok seems to think that Aaron Blackfoot is like the ultimate man, which I don't really understand. Like he's kind of pretty bare minimum. There were a couple scenes that were very good and I really appreciate, but mostly like I don't really understand that. But yeah, it's very cute. It's very cute. It makes me very happy. It's just as bright and sunny as the cover depicts, you know? Except also it does actually have meaningful things as well. Like I read this once like in the pool. Like literally just in the pool, like holding the book up like this, and that was a very peak experience. Yeah, very summery, and I'd recommend it. So now I'm going to talk a bit about a couple of romance books that I've been wanting to read that I'll hopefully be reading soon. So first we have the sequel to this one, which is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. Obviously I love this book, so I really do want to read that one. It's Catalina's best friend Rosie, who features quite heavily in this book, and Catalina's cousin Lucas, who is also slightly mentioned, like it's hinted at in this book, slightly. So I'm very excited to read that one. And then This one is kind of weird. I want to read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. Now, I've read Pub 57 and look, it's not very good quality. Like, it's very bad quality actually, but it's enjoyable, you know, it's fun. And the premise of Birthday Girl is basically it's a girl who moves in with her boyfriend and his dad. And her boyfriend, from what I gather, is a bit of a dickhead, and she starts spending time with his dad and like things develop, you know? Which is a really questionable premise. But it kind of like, I'm kind of really intrigued. Like, I really want to read it, okay? I really want to read it. I might hate it, I don't know, it's probably not going to be very good quality. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but I think personally, from what I like in books, I think it might deliver. I think it might. So I'm actually quite excited to read that one. And then I've been thinking maybe I might read Alone with You in the Ether by Olivie Blake. I honestly have absolutely no idea what the premise of this is. I have no idea what it's about. I just know it's a romance and a lot of people really like it. So I don't know, I might read it, it might be good. It recently was traditionally published as well, because it originally was self-published. And I saw it in the bookshop the other day and I was like, So yeah, there's that one. And I've never read anything by Colleen Hoover. And everybody and their entire extended family seems to really love her books. So I think I probably ought to get around to reading one of them. But the problem is she just has so many, and I have no idea where to start. So if you're a Coho fan, please leave me recommendations down below or hit me up on Instagram, because I would like to know where you think I should start with their books. So that's all the romance books I have to talk about today. Hopefully some of them can fill up the little void, you know, and make you feel something, make you feel loved. So yes, just to recap, read these ones, please. These are the best. Absolutely, they're phenomenal, especially this one. Please read these. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find something good to read from here. I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day. And right now, I hope you're having a wonderful day and or night. And I'll see you again next week with another video. Bye!